Peter, what's your thoughts today?
Delighted to get a win, obviously. We should have had more. We hit the post twice and should have had a blatant penalty in the first half that the referee doesn't give, which obviously changes the game. But I was quite impressed by some of the Rangers' younger players, but they had a lot of players away, I think, on their international, their under-19s and their international, so they had a couple of younger players playing today, which are really good. But I don't know whether we approached the game thinking it was going to be easier because there was maybe younger players playing, and the first half for us was too passive, too easy to keep the ball against younger players, going side to side and side to side, not really asking the right questions. The second half we asked them to do something different, which we did. We scored 2 goals, we hit the post and had a few more chances. Kai Kennedy has a 1v1. We had a lot more chances second half because we did things right first half. Thought we got sucked into maybe as if it was a friendly, and it wasn't, because there's points to play for and we want to get through to the next round of this, even though it's the cup competition. So delighted for Benji coming back in, Benjamin Lusant come back in after being now injured, and he gets his goal, hit the post as well. And then young Freddie O'Donoghue coming on and making an impact and scoring a goal, so that's delighted. We managed to rest a few players, and then at the end we managed to bleed a couple of the young players, Billy Gray and Kylan Hunter. So it's been a productive day.
Productive, I suppose that's the word to use, isn't it? It was a good experience. It was a strange afternoon, but
it's a good exercise.
Yeah,
it's a good exercise in the end for our players. It's not a league game. We've come through it with no knocks or bumps or bruises, and we managed to bleed some of the younger players and rest some of the players that have played so many minutes. So yes, it's been a good exercise. We got 3 points and we move on to the next game.
We knew it was going to be a bit of an unknown. Now it was, but as you say, they weren't a bad side. They were a good side. Rangers
at every level are. They get the Rangers and Celtic get the best younger players from around Scotland, and they play in a certain way. So we knew they would pass and play and move, and they did that. I just felt that we were taking too many gambles and risks, and thought it was going to be a little bit easier. And any team you're going to play against, no matter who they are, will want to get close to you, want to kick you, want to tackle you. And we made uncharacteristic errors in the first half by sloppy play, sloppy passes, and they could have scored a couple of goals, and we didn't get punished. Second half we changed it for ourselves. We scored a couple of goals, and then I think again, Jack Stott's come on today and changed the game for us to get us higher up the park. But then he himself, which we spoke about inside, gets bored of doing what we're asking him. The putting the balls, the diagonals and putting balls in behind. He gets bored of that because it's too easy for him. Slows everything down and gets the ball taken off him. And then we concede from that because our players are making forward runs from that. So that's the learning curve for today, is like, don't get bored when it's a bit easier. Because anybody will punish you, and fair play to Rangers, they punished us to get back to 1-1, but we stepped it up again and scored 2-1. Should have been 3, 4 and 5.
A learning curve for the players, but also a learning curve for yourself. You learn more about your players as well in different situations and different games like that. Yep,
we do, and that's probably the mentality, because yesterday when we're preparing for the game, he's saying that there's loads of, I think it was 5 of their 19s are in the Scotland squad, saying there's probably going to be 17s or 18s. Maybe that preparation for the mentality of our players means they're not as on it as what we would be in the league. So that's a learning curve. You can manage to see Niall Rogerson, Ewan Ross, Ben Johnson again, a homegrown product, which is really good. And then, as I said, Kylan and Billy. So yeah, you managed to learn a little bit more, a little bit of exposure for Billy and Kylan to come on. I thought Billy did really well. Kylan on the other side didn't really touch the ball that much, but again, he's come on. He played in the two of them played in the friendlier, the cup games and the Premier Sports, and the friendlies in pre-season. So good exercise, because we will need a lot of them, but I don't think they're ready yet for a league. So we'll see how they develop.
Of course, it was a lot of changes today, and it'll be a different team again next week for East Fife, but it keeps the momentum going.
It does, keeps the momentum going. That's the positive, because as I said, it's a productive exercise, but still, I think we're all around, we're disappointed with how we performed today, but we get the win. So if you're not going to play too well and you get the win, that's good. But I thought we played. You could say we played well, but never really did anything in the first half. We just, if you're counting passes, but that's not what we do. I'm not a possession-based manager. Pass for the sake of passing. We have to pass with an intention to go somewhere. And I felt the first half we weren't doing that. So second half we did, and we stepped it up.
On to East Fife next week as well. So a team coming up from the League Two. So a bit unknown for League One as well.
No, they're East Fife, big, strong, physical side. Play percentage football and play for set pieces. They've got a very physical side, so we just got to make sure that we are prepared, approach it as we would a normal league game, not this game today, which is still a bit of a sore point. So we've got a week now to prepare. We'll prepare as well as we can because we've put ourselves in a good position. But everybody in the league wants to take you off that perch, and we've got to do our best to try and stay as high as we can.